Hey, welcome, thanks for stopping by. It's time to learn with our friend Clive. So grab your brush, have a great time.
Now this was series 11 of episode 11 of Bob Ross painting. Now I'm going to attempt to actually recreate that in acrylics. I'm going to use some wet on wet techniques that I've developed along with some product that I've developed, but I'm also trying to keep it to a conventional acrylic painting as well. Now with that said, at the end of this actual video there will be specific data on the stuff that I've produced. So please wait until the end credits and then go and watch the end of the video, and I'll show you and go into depth in a little bit more detail about the products I'm actually going to be using. So without further ado, let's have a look at the palette. Okay, as you see, the colours are actually running up the side of the screen in a normal manner, and with the Vandyke brown, if you can't get Vandyke brown, just add a little bit of black and just shade that burnt umber up a little bit. But any dark brown will do. Okay, let's not waffle anymore. I've got a small selection of brushes to start off with. I'm just going to go straight into this flat. Now, what I've got here is a medium mix formula, which is in my little pot, and I've added a bit of water to that. And in this painting, I'm actually going to be using some liquid clear. Now if this is not oil based, this is acrylic based, please watch the video at the end of this and that'll explain things in a little bit more detail. So I'm just going to put a bit of that in my little metal bowl but there, and that's all I need is a few squirts, and you can put that back in the bottle when you finish with it. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I pre-gessoed the canvas. As you can see, it's a yellow ground with gesso, and that's all you want. I've mixed a little bit of medium yellow, cadmium medium yellow, and a little bit of orange to make it look like an Indian yellow. So okay, and that's all I've done. So I'm just going to get a little bit of liquid clear onto my brush, and I'm just going to very, very lightly, and I mean very, very lightly, go over the top part of the canvas. I'm not going to do the whole canvas as yet. You can do it, but it's quite warm in the studio, and I just want to limit the possibility of this actually drying on me. So I'm not saying it will, but I always err on the side of caution. So I'm just going to scrub a little bit of that in. Oops, good, well caught. Scrub a little bit of that in to the top of the canvas. You don't need a lot. You don't need a lot of this. You need to get that right into the fabric of the canvas, and all this does is keep the canvas slick and prevent it from actually drying out, because we don't want it to dry out on us. This is a wet on wet technique that we are trying to accomplish here today. And then I'm going to get a little bit of kitchen towel, and then I'm going to go ever so lightly over that, and I'm taking off the excess fluid, because I just want that canvas to stay workable. You know, the canvas has been moistened behind, so the canvas is wet, it's damp. The canvas is damp. So if you want to see how I prepared this canvas, please press the iCard and I'll take you into a video to show you how I've actually prepped it. Okay, so without further ado, I'm just going to go into a little bit of Vandyke brown like this. And I'm just going to come in, and I'm just going to put a couple of cloud shapes like that all across the top of the sky. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick up my little blending brush. This is a very soft brush. I'm only using acrylic brushes here, and these are natural hair ones. You can use a man-made if you want to, but these just tend to be good for the job. Actually, it's like a makeup brush. That's what you want, a nice makeup brush. So I'm just going to very, very lightly blend that in, and because the liquid clear is on there, it's just making that misty type of effect, which is what we want. And you wouldn't get that with just putting the paint onto the surface. So I just want to mix that in and just get that hazy look to this sky, and I'm just going to brush that onto my kitchen towel. Okay, what I want to do now is I'm going to pick up another inch short flat. I'm just going to pick up some titanium white onto my brush, just pure titanium white, and I'm going to go into this area here, and I'm just going to spread that out. I want to make a bit of a bright spot because I should have done that first, but it doesn't matter. And let's just get a bit of kitchen towel. And don't worry if you go over that brown that we just put on, that's not a problem. I should have put this in first, which I didn't, but it doesn't matter. And just blend that in like that. We can recover those clouds in just 1 second. You don't make mistakes with these type of paintings. There you go. You can see it's still slick. So the more we blend that in, the more the yellow is going to show through. And in fact, that's not too bad. I quite like the way that effect is. So let's pretend I didn't put the brown on first. Okay, so putting our brush onto the palette, I'm just picking up a bit more of this VANDYKE brown. I'm just loosely just dragging in a couple of darker spots, put a couple of stringy ones across there like that. Clouds in front of clouds. Then we get our blending brush again, and then very lightly, let's just merge that in to the paint, like that. Very lightly caress these. You can put as many or as few of these in as you want. I'll fluff them up like that. Get a little bit of. There you go. You can put a little bit more paint, make this layer a little bit darker. We have some fluffy ones here, a couple of stringy ones. It's a really strange sky, this one. And then again, just fluff that in. Now the good thing about this is that because it's acrylic, if we wanted to force dry this, then we could, and then we can go in and we can strengthen this up later on if we're not satisfied with the effect. But for now, I think I'll just leave it at that. In fact, I think what I'll do, let me put a couple of more like really distant little clouds there. Blend that in. Okay, there we are. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up a little natural bristle brush like that. I'm not sure where I got this from, but I'm going to mix a little bit of burnt umber and a bit of VANDYKE brown together. And I'm going to bring a touch of white to that. A bit of yellow ochre to it. Let's see what we got. All I want to do is pull down like this. And you can see these leaving like little tiny trees and things. This is like a little foothill. What we got going on in the background there? You can bring in a little bit darker in front. So just pick up a little bit of the darker paint again, come in front of that, or you can lift up and a little bit of darker things going on in front. This is not going to be an exact copy of the painting, but this is just, I've watched the video and this is just my interpretation of what I actually seen, and I'm still working on that. Liquid clear at the moment. I'm going to be putting on some more in just 1 second, so I'm just going to blend that back in just a touch like that. I'll just lift up a little bit, blending that in like that. Now I am going to get my brush, another brush. This is another inch brush. I'm going to pick up a bit of that liquid clear, and I am now going to go and put that in this area. I'm not going to go all over, I'm just going to put it where I think the water is going to be, because yes, there is going to be water in this one, but I don't want to go all over the canvas, just where I need it. And I keep saying this is an acrylic based liquid clear that I've managed to sort out, and it is available on the website. But as I said earlier, please wait until the end of the video and I'll tell you exactly the details on how to correctly use this and what it is, basically. There you go. Well, not what it is, but it's a liquid clear, but I'll give it a couple of my specs on it. Okay, get another bit of kitchen paper. Be careful not to touch the paint, and then just removing some of the excess. If you put too much of this on, it's just gonna go horrible. You don't want that. You just want the canvas to be slick. But you've got to be careful you don't take too much off. So it's a bit complicated. We do our best. Yes, we do. Okay, now we have done that, and this is the brush. What brush is that? I've got some VANDYKE brown on that, and I'm just going to go in, and I'm just going to go down, across, straight down from there, because I want a little bit of reflection going on there. And then I'm going to get my blending brush, and I'm just lightly going to go across, maybe a little bit more. If you don't put too much on, but you want enough to give this a reflection. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into a fan brush. I'm going to go and get some VANDYKE brown onto a fan brush. And we're going to decide, I think there was a little tree here, I think somewhere like that. So just put a little line, and then just very lightly, just put a little tree in. Like that. Picking up some more paint, and we'll put another little tree. These are way in the distance. A little tree over there like that. And then we'll put another little tree just there. Okay, so what we want to do now is push up. Get some little bitly bits. Use the edge of the brush to put some trees in here and there like that. Just increase this background. Let's put another tree there. Let's make that a little bit bigger. There we go. Let's take my hat off. Picking up a bit more paint, and this is just normal acrylic paint. This is not oil paints. This is normal acrylic paints. And we can push up. Okay, so putting that there. Now what I want to do is just give my brushes just a little mist to stop them drying off, because that's not what I want to do. I don't want them to dry. And I'm now picking up a script liner brush, and I'm going to go into this just a little bit more white to that. Pulling this to a nice thin point. And then I'm just going to go very lightly, just put a couple of little lines in, a little bit more white. Just like a couple of little things sticking up here and there. Just go into a bit of burnt umber. Again, that's like a little trees here and there, and bits and pieces, and there you go. I'm washing the brush. Okay, now we've done that, I want to go into the palette and I want to pick up some titanium white, pure titanium white onto my brush. And now I'm just going to go on an angle like that. A bit of snow in. There we are. I can come out this way a little bit like that. And again, and this way now. Pull it in. Oops, there's a hair. Let's get rid of that hair. Just do a very small amount of, just touch the edges, And what I want to do now is put a little bit of colour into this snow. Don't want it all perfectly white. We wanted to bring a bit of colour in to this snow like that. And let's just do a little bit more this way. Just a touch, just a touch. Just bring a bit of shadowing in, like that. I'm just going to leave that one side a minute. I'm just picking up my fan brush again, and I'm just going to go in very, very lightly and just add a couple of bit more bits and pieces here and there, like as if there's some stuff coming down. I want to bring that over the snow. There you go. Bob actually did put a cabin in here, but I think I'm just going to put a tree in. I think I'm just going to put a tree in there. So I wanted to change this a little bit, so let's put a couple of more trees in. And as I said, you can get a script liner if you wanted to, and just put a couple of lines in like that. Pull up a couple of lines here and there, like as if there's a few trees behind. There you go. A couple of dead trees maybe, I don't know. And where's my brush? Which brush did I use? Use this one. Let's just pull that down like that. Now what you could do, you could get a little bit of this VANDYKE brown, and you could just drag in a little bit of colour into the snow like that, just with the edge of the brush. If it's gone a bit too thick, get your blending brush and just blend it in like that. There you go. Taking the excess off our brush of the white, and what I want to do now, oops, I don't want to drop the brush on the floor, but I did. What I want to do now is just get a little bit of this reflection of light coming through like that, and I'm going to put my little scrubbing brush up. This is my favourite little scrubbing brush, because I can really push this paint into that canvas and get that little white, hint of white coming off that cloud there. Not a cloud, the sun, sorry, cloud. Dear, dear. Picking up our script liner brush, going into some titanium white that we did to put the snow on, get that nice and thin. Now Bob used to do this with the, Bob had done this with the palette knife, but I'm not that good with a palette knife, especially with acrylics. So I'm just going to use a brush, and I'm just going to put a couple of little lines just there like that, just to separate. There you go. And it just looks like as if the maybe this lake or pond or what it is just starting to freeze over. There you are. Now, in this particular instance, I'm going to get one of these brushes. You can use any type of brush. That's just a natural hair filbert, and this is just an ordinary decorator's brush, as you can see there. So let's use this one first. Let's get a bit of black into this burnt umber, VANDYKE brown. And let's just darken up an area like this. Bring that out like that. You can see it's a lot easier with a bigger brush actually. Just block in, bit of burnt umber, bit of black. Doesn't matter what black. Don't kill all those little white spots. Bring that down on an angle like this. I'm just going off memory at the moment. Let's see how it comes out in a minute. Or you can just paint it in like that. There you go. And that's actually drying a bit there, so what I should do now is pick up a bit of this. That's a dirty brush, Clive. Pick up a bit of this liquid clear on a dry brush. Make sure it's a dry brush, and just add a bit of that in like that. Pull that paint down like that, and then gently go across. I only use a very, very small amount then. That'll be okay. That's fine. I can work with that because we've got a little bit of snow and that coming out in there in a minute. Back into our fan brush. Let me just put this big brush down. Back into our fan brush. And let's put a tree in there. And using the corner of the brush, start at the top. Leave a gap. As you come down, you're progressively bigger like that. And again, reload your brush. We'll put another one there. Just put another one. Just put another one, but let's put a baby one by there. Look, there you are, a baby one. Mum and Dad just had a baby. Now with this brush, the same brush, don't worry about cleaning it. Pick up a bit of this yellow ochre. Mix a bit of that's on the brush into that. Take the excess off. You don't want it too lumpy bumpy, and just using the corner of the brush, just put some highlights in. Picking up a bit of yellow, mix a bit of that yellow into it. Just pure yellow now. Just get a bit of pure yellow on the end of that brush. You can make some bushes here. Do all these lovely little patterns. And get a little bit of that colour. Let's just highlight this tree a little bit, not too much. Leave that one dark. I'll tell you what, we'll leave that one. Right, if I pick up, get one of these. This is another natural bristle brush that you've seen me do this lesson with before. I'm going to pick up a bit of raw sienna, tapping that in, loading the brush up, and I'm going to put in a couple of warmer colours here and there. Dropping them in. Okay, now I'm going to go, where's my brush I had the white with? There it is. Get some titanium white again, and let's just get some of this titanium white to come across. Pulling that colour through. Bringing this down. Oops, I picked up a bit of black. Doesn't matter. Pull that through like as if it's there like that. That's all right. We can manage with that. A bit grey, but it doesn't matter. We'll put some more white paint over that later on. Let's just bring this land mass out here. There you go. Bring a bit of that VANDYKE brown mix. Make it look really dirty. We'll sort something out for there now. So this is not exactly as I can remember watching it, but these type of paintings will develop on their own. You know, as dear Bob used to say, you know, he's only just showing you a method. Is how you take this is down to you. So on this one, certainly going that way with me. So let's put that there. Let's pick up this fan brush and let's bring a couple of these bits and pieces out from the bank, like as if it's little tiny bits of grass and whatnot's growing. And we can bring a bit like that. Let's put a little bit of, we can put a little bit of snow on that. And in fact, we could put a little bit of snow on a few of these little things like this. As if the snow is just glinting away. It's a snow on there. Not too much, not too much, just a little bit here and there. You know, this could be sunrise, it could be sunset, it could be perhaps the snow is just melting. I don't know. This is just started to develop as a painting really. and it's nice to actually see this happening. And I got all these brushes on the go. Okay, so what I want to do now is I'm going to try and bring a bit of landmass into here. So I'm going to go into the same brush, and I'm just going to go maybe like this for now. I want that to come there, like that maybe. It could be a little lake with a little bit of a stream thing going on. Who knows? Who knows? I certainly don't. And I've done it again. We need to bring some of that liquid clear. Just drag it straight down. Okay. Blocking this in. And again, let's get us some titanium white, and let's put a little bit of a landmass come in there like that. And coming out here. So it could be a river, basically. So it could be that. Who knows? Not really worried. Okay, so let's get a little bit of, which brush do I have? Let's use this little brush. Let's just try and get a little bit of landmass under this. Bit of shadow. There you go. There it is. Looking for my cork stick. Yeah, it's not a mark stick in Clive Studio. It's actually called a cork stick. So let's put just a couple of little lines just under there. We can bring a couple of frozen lines in like that, and we can soften them through. There you go. And going back into our brush, let's get some more kitchen paper. Taking this, cleaning this brush off, back into the VANDYKE brown and black, and let's put a tree by there. Let's put another one just behind him. Put in some highlight now onto that tree. A bit of snow. Oops. Just on the edge, just on the very tip. Bit of snow in a bit more snow on this one. Caught the snow, this one did. You see it's a bit heavier on that side, so let's make it heavier. There we are. A couple of little bushes here and there. And we could get a, let me have a look, see if I've got a small one here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I got a little filbert. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of this VANDYKE brown and black. I'm going to get that nicely into the bristles. And what I'm going to do now is just put a couple of rocks here and there. Get a little bit of white. Took the excess off, get a bit of pure titanium white now and just bed them in. Put a bit of snow on the top. Okay, so let's get a big brush. Go straight into the VANDYKE brown and black. Fill that brush up. And let's move my hat. I don't want paint on it. And let's put a big old tree there like that. Get the excess off that brush, take the paint off, pick up a bit of white, and then very, very lightly just pull around. Like that. And again, very, very lightly. Pull around in a circular motion like this. What we can do is get our, where'd I put my script liner brush? I keep losing my brushes. I got so many brushes and that on my palette now, I don't know where they are. So let's just put a little bit of snow this gathered on this tree like that. Let's put a bit more around his foots. Let's pick up a bit of white and let's just re-emphasize this flow of snow now. Go a little bit in there. Put this paint on a little bit thicker if you wanted to. You could bring this into the foreground now. Just put it on thick and just basically just bring that in now. Now we've got the underlining colour, which is going to pick that off. Put that on nice and thick like that. we can get our brush. Let's get, I tell you what, we haven't used this one yet. I haven't used this one, so let's use this one. Let's get a little bit of yellow ochre, a bit of that raw sienna together. Let's get a little bit of that yellow in there. Let's get these colours to merge together. Tap that in. Let's just put a little bushes there. Bit of burnt umber, and just increase the shadow a little bit, and then maybe put another little bushes there. And then let's put a little bushes right on the edges there, and on the end of the canvas. There we are. Picking up a touch of white. Got a little bit of snow in onto the leaves. Get your brush, your white brush with the snow, and just pull that through. Settle him down into the ground. There you go. Nice, easy as that. Easy as that. We could put another little darker bush there if we wanted to, just to offset a couple of things. Again, get a little bit of snow and just increase the colour. There we are. What we need to do now is, let me wash my strip liner brush out. Go into this burnt umber mix, plenty of water or medium mix flow improver, and let's just put a branch in there then. Get a couple of little things going in there like that. Put one in there. Let's add a little bit of white to that. Let's put a, there he is. Oh, there he is. Good. Okay. Let's put a branch on this one. And I go behind that tree. There we go. And a couple of bad years, these two trees. They grew up together, and I think they just grew old together, and things started breaking and falling off. And that's just how life is sometimes. And they're all very, very tired trees. And if you put a dot there like that and pull it from there, it looks as if it's coming from the front. There you go. And what we'll do now, we'll get a bit of white paint on the end of our script liner brush and put some snow on these branches. And tell you what we could be good. Tell you what we could do, and is put a couple of branches that have snapped off onto the ground like that. Birds have come along and it just snapped. There you go. Wash the brush. Get a bit of paint, bit of white paint, and just that. What we could do then is get our fan brush and just very, very lightly put some grass under the foots of these trees. There you go. And you can play and play with this for hours and hours and hours. We could get a little bit of black, and then we could just put a bird or two or even three flying around the canvas. And what I'm going to do in this instance now is I'm just going to sign my name in this corner. And there you have it. Yes, my interpretation of Bob Ross's painting, episode 11, series 11. So I forgot what he actually called this painting, but in true Bob Ross style, I've actually changed it a little bit. So this is all done in acrylics, and as I said, if you want to wait now until the end of the video, there'll just be a couple of credits, and then I'll tell you exactly about the liquid clear, etc. So please stay with that. Also press the iCards, that's in the top right hand corner, and that's going to take you into preparation of the canvas. Not this particular one, it's going to be one on how I've actually prepped the canvas itself. So it's going to be a black and white one, so the principles are all the same. These are all painted in exactly the same way. So have a good day, a good week, a good month, a good year, and God bless. And I hope to see you again in the studio quite shortly for another lesson. So all it remains me to say is thank you very much. Enjoy painting this. Please wait until the end, and I'll talk to you a little bit about the liquid clear, and I will see you on the next one. Nice.
Hey, welcome, thanks for stopping by. It's time to learn with our friend Clive. So grab your brush, have a great time. And don't forget to click subscribe. Visit clive5art.co.uk.
Okay, so I think it's important to actually explain my liquid clear to you. Now, in Bob Ross's style, he used his own liquid clear, which is oil based. This is not oil based. Do not confuse this one with the Bob Ross make, because they are not compatible. You cannot mix oils and acrylics together because they just will not mix together. This is an acrylic resin based liquid clear which keeps the canvas wet, slick, and it keeps maintains the openness of acrylics for a period of time. So it varies from place to place and temperatures to temperature. You can mix this directly into the paint to give you a little bit of a gloss finish. Be very careful you don't overuse this because it will slow down the drying time. You can use it as a retarder, but use small quantities of it, so it's quite a universal thing. It says your drying time can take up to 2 hours, and I've had it extended a little bit longer than that, but again, I am not saying this is going to keep your paints from drying within an half hour. It could be anything up to 2 hours, so it all depends how much you put in and how you use this. Now what I do suggest you do is apply it with a brush on the canvas like you've seen me doing during this demonstration, and then taking off a quantity of it with some kitchen towel. That is going to allow the paint to soak, the liquid clear to soak into the paint, into the gesso or whatever, and keep slick. Otherwise your paint is just going to go mushy and very thin, and it won't dry very well. So you need to be very careful when using this. That's all I'm going to say to you. So you need to practice with it. If you use it correctly, it does fantastic things like the skies, etc. So well, that's all I can say about the liquid clear. So if you've got any more concerns or you want some, please pop along to www.clive5art.co.uk, send me an email where I'll be more than happy to actually answer your questions and even send you out some. There we go. So thank you very much. I'll see you next time. Nice.